Hey everybody, welcome back to another AvidMax Tying Tuesday tying instructional video. My name is Brady Lair, and today we're going to tie a smoke jumper fly for you. This is tied on a Firehole hook. We're using the 315. Lends itself nicely to this pattern as an emerging pattern with the straight eye, that extra wide gape, and the nice curved profile. We're going to start our thread. I'm using a UTC 70 denier purple today, just more of an attractant sort of bug than a realistic version. There's a lot of variations of this out there. And the first thing we're going to add is our ribbing. Just some extra small silver wire for this color variation. We'll secure that right in on the side and then walk it back to where we want our body to end. A little ways down the shank, nice curved profile on this fly. It's a nice emerging midge imitation. Fished nicely in a dropper rig, not too far below the surface of the water. You can fish it deeper in the column too if the emerging activity is going on in a deeper column. And tying it in different colors can offer a wide variety of emerging insect imitations. Go ahead and wrap our wire on forward here. Sure we're nice and tight. And we'll do 5 or 6 wraps. Tying a size of 18 today. It's a good place to be, 18. The right time of year. Fish these, may have to go smaller as well, down to 20, 24s even. And we'll go ahead and capture that wire off where it landed there. And then we can spin out the excess and prepare for our next material, which is going to be a little bit of CDC. Using the puffs, this is the medium done variation. Just going to take a single puff. And I always like to wet it a little bit. You could use some wax, some water. I use some of my saliva typically because it's always with me. That way you have a nice even tie-in point. You can kind of gauge your distance there. So what I like to do is you can measure about the length of the body because you're going to fold it back and over again. You can always trim it when you get to that point. So I usually end up doing. But to start, we're going to hide our stem right underneath here and clip out that excess. And then we can leave that hanging back. You want to start a little bit further back on this pattern just to leave yourself room to tie the CDC over top. So the next thing coming in is a little bit of Peacock Hurl. Just some natural Peacock Hurl. Lots of synthetic substitutes you can use in place of this as well. But I do like the natural stuff. Tie that in right on the side. Work our thread up. Maybe make a little bit of a base for that peacock. And then again, just going to end a little bit further back behind that eye than you normally might. And the peacock will really determine that stopping point. This is a great little fly. Many different color variations. It was created on the Bighorn River up in Montana by a guide by the name of Mike Hoiness out of Yellowstone Fly Goods. Peacock's a great material. It's pretty brittle though. Lots of people come in the store and talk about how they break it as they use it. I break it all the time. There's a lot of synthetic options out there as well you can use instead. But I do tend to like the natural materials when I can. So just a few times palmer it forward, and then we'll capture it with our thread. Just like so, clip out that excess. And then we can bring that CDC puff up and over. So I'm just gonna pull it right over the top and kind of lay your Peacock Herl out to the sides there. I'll do a loose wrap on top and then kind of pull it back and make sure it's just sitting where I want it. And then we can sneak a couple of wraps right in front of it to help get it to flare upward. I had one sneak underneath there. Let's get it back in place. Couple. There we go. I'll trim those out. I missed them. Don't need them. There we go. And once you have it kind of locked in place, you can bring your whip finish in. It can be a little tricky to do this just because you do have to hold that puff back and out of the way as you whip finish. The more you do it, the easier that becomes. Nice and secure. And then, like I said, I made this quite a bit long today, so we're just going to go ahead and trim it. And I like to try and feather it, so I'll clip it about the length of the shank here, just off straight, and then kind of come back in and feather that out a little bit to make it seem a little more natural, not as cookie cutter maybe. That's all there is to the smoke jumper. Great little midge imitation, emerging midge imitation, and potentially mayfly imitation as well, emerging.